Folks, I just made all of my divisional predictions. Now it's time to make my playoff predictions. Let's start off with the AFC. As my number one seed, I got the Kansas City Chiefs. No surprise there. As my number two seed, I got the Texans. As my 3 seed, I got the Baltimore Ravens. As my 4 seed, I got the Buffalo Bills. Now, I do think there's a chance that the Dolphins can win the AFC East. I also think there's a slight chance that the Jets can win the AFC East. But as fate would have it, the Jets play the Dolphins in Week 18. I believe the Jets will prevent the Dolphins from winning the division, and I believe Buffalo will finish with the same number of wins as Miami and ultimately knock the Dolphins out of having the AFC East title for the second season in a row. So I have the Bills in 4th place. In 5th place, I have the Bengals getting the first wild card. I have the Dolphins getting the 6th seed. And for that 7th spot, I debated 3 teams. But I ultimately went with the Colts. I think they will start the season off slow. Anthony Richardson did look rusty in the preseason, but I just believe in the talent that they have, and I believe if Richardson can live up to the way he played last year, the Colts have too much talent to not pick them. The 2 teams that I also considered were the Jets and the Browns. I think the Jets will be good. I think the Jets will finish with 9 or 10 wins. But I can't overlook the concerns I have. Aging QB, I do have questions about the players that they signed this offseason. Can Ty Smith stay healthy? Can Mike Williams stay healthy? Do I believe in Saleh? They are the Jets, which is a massive question mark as well. And with the Browns, I don't believe in Deshaun Watson. I think Jameis will come in. He'll play well enough. He'll do the Jameis thing where he'll light it up for his team and he'll light it up for the other team. So those are my 7 teams in the AFC. As far as I have the playoffs shaking out, I think the Texans beat the Colts pretty handily. I would like to point out the fact that the Colts, with Anthony Richardson last year, did beat the Texans. They also had a chance to win the division last year in Indy if Gardner Minshew and the Colts receivers just get on the same page. That could be a different ball game. But I do think the Texans, with the upgrades they made and with C.J. Stroud taking that step in his development, I think the Texans edge out the Colts to advance to the divisional round. I think the Ravens handily beat the Dolphins because Miami struggled last year against the good teams. They were 10-0 against the bad teams. But against the teams that made the playoffs, they were 1-6 in the regular season, and they ended up losing their first round matchup pretty handily in the first round of the playoffs to Kansas City last year. So I have no doubt that Miami will be explosive, but they will ultimately get exposed come January. And for the final wild card matchup, we got the Bills against the Bengals. I want to pick the Bengals with 100% confidence. I can't do it with 100% confidence because I don't know about the Ja'Marr Chase situation. If Ja'Marr Chase doesn't report, or this contract doesn't get fixed, or there's tension, whatever the situation may be, I do have concerns. But the Bengals are ultimately more talented than Buffalo, and Buffalo always finds a way to come up short. I believe in Joe Burrow more than I do Josh Allen, so give me the Bengals. That leaves us with Kansas City against Cincinnati. I think the Chiefs I think the Bengals are a tough matchup for the Chiefs. That being said, with Kansas City having the additional rest that they do, they will beat the Bengals to advance to their 7th consecutive AFC title game. As far as the Texans-Ravens matchup goes, I I really would like to see Lamar get over the hump, have some playoff success, but I think CJ Stroud, the Texans offense, is so explosive. The firepower is there. I also think that the Texans, with DeMeco Ryans, have the type of defense, now with the additions they've made on the defensive side of the ball, to limit Lamar Jackson, considering he struggled in the playoffs. In the 4 playoff losses that Lamar Jackson has had, those are the lowest amount of points his team has scored in the regular season. I like Lamar, but Lamar is a playoff choke artist. So give me CJ Stroud and the Texans in the AFC title game. We got Mahomes, we got CJ Stroud. And for a trip to Super Bowl 59, as much as it pains me to say it, we got the Kansas City Chiefs again. I think the Chiefs had the Super Bowl, had a trip to the Super Bowl in their grasp once the Buffalo Bills traded the 26th pick in the NFL draft to Kansas City and allowed them to get Xavier Worthy. Why would you trade to the team that constantly beats you? Why would you give them the ticket to get a great offensive weapon? It just doesn't make sense to me, man. Patrick Mahomes is the best QB in the game, and when the Patriots had Tom Brady, it was very easy for me to pick them to win the Super Bowl every year because they had the best QB in football, they had the best player in the game. And as much as it pains me to say it, Patrick Mahomes is now the best player in the game. So I got the Chiefs representing the AFC. In the NFC side, I got the Rams as the 1 seed. I got the Packers as the 2 seed. I have the Falcons as the 3 seed. I have the Eagles as the 4 seed. The Niners as the 5 seed. The Lions as the 6 seed. And the Bears as the 7 seed. I think the Packers will continue to own the Bears. Aaron Rodgers said, I own you, I own you, I own you. And he passed that ownership on to Jordan Love. The big elephant in the room is Love's injury. But I have to make this prediction as if I were making it before the season started. I can't switch up and say, oh, well, now I have a different team that I'm picking. No. I have to hold myself accountable, and I want to be as authentic and honest as I possibly can be when I'm making content for my viewers. So I got the Packers advancing. In my 3-6 matchup, we got the Falcons, we got the Lions. Although the Lions are a wild card team, the Lions are a dangerous wild card team. They will nip the Falcons in the wild card round. I think Jared Goff is a better QB than Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins comes up short when it matters most. And we have heard some rumblings that if the Falcons don't win multiple playoff games, Kirk Cousins could be one and done. That to me is crazy. If the Falcons genuinely think they can win a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins or go to an NFC championship with Kirk Cousins, then they shouldn't have drafted Michael Penix. That's the one thing. That's my one question mark on the Atlanta Falcons. Why would they do that? Could that derail their chances? I don't think it will. I think Kirk will be solid, but when it matters most, I don't trust him. So the Lions advance. And for the 4-5 matchup, we got the Eagles, we got the Niners. Brock Purdy, revenge game. He got banged up in the NFC Championship game 2 years ago. That was his first loss, even though he didn't finish the game. I think Brock Purdy gets his revenge over the Philadelphia Eagles. I just don't trust the Eagles' defense enough to say that I believe in them, so give me the Niners. That leaves us with the Packers and the Niners. That leaves us with the Rams and the Lions. I think Matthew Stafford gets revenge over what happened last year in Detroit. He got banged up late, and that is what caused them to lose. Dan Campbell's aggressiveness as well was a huge factor. I think the Rams are going to be well rested. I think they are a sleeper team. They will host the NFC Championship game. The Packers and Niners, once again, another rematch of last year's playoffs. This matchup took place in the divisional round last year. I think Jordan Love shows his receivers the love, and the Packers advance to the NFC Championship game. Packers, Rams, Matt LaFleur against Sean McVay, student against teacher, and I think Matt LaFleur, the student, will beat the teacher, Sean McVay, on the road. I think he will be incredibly aggressive. Last year, the Packers were able to beat the Cowboys in Dallas. No one expected it. They were able to go toe-to-toe with San Francisco. No one expected it. Jordan Love, I think, will take a step in his development, assuming that the injury isn't a massive concern. Once again, folks, this is my prediction before the season started. I had no clue he was going to go down with the injury with 5 seconds left to go in the ball game. But I want to make this as authentic as I can. I tried to get this video out before the season started, wasn't able to do it, so I have to say what I felt in that moment. So I got the Packers going to the Super Bowl. That being said, even if the Jordan Love injury isn't a huge factor, or even if that wasn't a part of this, I still had the Packers losing the Super Bowl to the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, unfortunately, complete the three-peat. I really hope it doesn't happen. I hope somebody, anybody, knocks them off, but I think the Chiefs get it done. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you liked this video. Be sure to smash that thumbs up and let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thanks, guys.